Welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole. This is going to be a new weekly web series of me. I'm Molly Patella. I'm the head of adult services at the Westwood Public Library in Westwood, Massachusetts. And essentially, I'm just going to show you how to use the library's resources to find information about timely and newsworthy and just weird, ominous topics. And the first one we're going to talk about is the 2018 Camp Fire. It's probably better known as the Paradise Fire. So I don't know. Let me backtrack. Let me tell you how I got into it. So during the quarantine, me, like everyone else in the world, was watching Netflix, and I saw a preview for this documentary, and I just got absorbed and had to watch it. So the documentary is called Fire in Paradise on Netflix, and it was really scary, like really scary. This is no reenactment stuff. This is found footage from people's cell phones, and cell phone cameras have come a long way because this is some very clear disaster filming. It was awful. It was so awful. The stories from the victims is just heart-wrenching, and there's a lot to talk about with this fire because first off, 85 people died, making it the deadliest wildfire in California history. It's the 6th deadliest fire in American history, and it was caused by a falling power line that was owned by PG&E, which is better known as Pacific Gas and Electric, which, by the way, is the same PG&E from Aaron Brockovich. Do you remember the company that was dumping chemicals and caused all the cancer? Yeah, same people, same company. So they have a lot to answer for. Anyway, I digress. So, let's see, it was deadliest fire, 85 people. It was awful. PG&E. So it's called the Camp Fire because I didn't know how, because it's like a fun name, like campfire, but no, it's like a really terrible, awful event. It's called the Camp Fire because it was first reported off of, I forget what it's like, Camp Fire Road, or not Camp Fire, it's like Camp Boulevard or something. And that's how we can know it's the Camp Fire. It was the protocol that 911 operators use to name disasters. So that's how that happened, in case you're wondering. There's a lot to talk about climate change because a lot of the problems that California and other states are having with wildfires has to do with the changing climate. It's drier and hotter for longer. Case in point, you want a scary statistic, 10 of the 20 deadliest wildfires have happened in the last 4 years. So 10 to 20 of the deadliest wildfires happened in the past 4 years, and 8 of those fires have happened in the past 2 years. And this is in terms of destruction. It's not a pretty picture over there. It has to be addressed, and there's a lot of topics and ways you can go for finding out that information too. So there's a lot you can go, there's a lot of directions you can go, and I of course went in all of them because that's what I do. So I started by watching the Netflix documentary, which got me hooked, and then there's a Frontline documentary that's you can watch online for free, so I watched that. Then Nova did a documentary, so I watched the Nova documentary. Then a book came out, which is right here. It's Fire in Paradise. It came out, I think, in May, so it's pretty new. I highly recommend this title. It's fascinating. So those people who don't like nonfiction, this is one of those, like, I'm not gonna say it's narrative nonfiction because it isn't really narrative nonfiction. It's just very interesting. And there's a lot of like heart in that one. It's a lot of good stories and sad stories and a lot about people. So if I'm gonna get to what other sources the library has for you to find information. So if you follow me, we're going to go into our databases. This is our website, westwoodlibrary.org. We're going to go to Find, Databases, and I'm just going to go to general reference, and because the one I really want to talk about is this one right here called Access World News. It's by Newsbank. So Newsbank is essentially a repository of sorry, go on, log in, let's go. Hope your internet's faster than my internet is. Jeez. So Newsbank is a repository for newspapers, and we're lucky enough that we have the international edition, so you can get articles from, if you follow me, all of the, we're going to go into our databases. This is our website, westwoodlibrary.org. We're going to go to Find, Databases, and I'm just going to go to general reference, and because the one I really want to talk about is this one right here called Access World News. It's by Newsbank. So Newsbank is essentially a repository of sorry, go on, log in, let's go. Hope your internet's faster than my internet is. Jeez. So Newsbank is a repository for newspapers, and we're lucky enough that we have the international edition, so you can get articles from all over the world for various years and such. If you go to this like A to Z source list, you can find a lot of cool things there. Also, not just newspapers, but also transcripts from TV. So if you're into, say, NPR, which isn't TV, is radio, but all of their radio shows have been transcribed and they're on this website. So same thing of news broadcasts like CNN, 60 Minutes is on here. Lots of cool things there. So another thing I like about it is that we have this like hot topics thing. So if you just want to scroll and find something fast, you can. So they're usually pretty like pulled from the news type thing. So we're going to scroll down because I think there's actually the one I want to show you is if you go into environment right here, you have all these things, but right down here, national disasters, bam, wildfires. And what's really cool is that you can have all these things here. So they're doing the newest articles, but you can go back and you could just like change it to if you want to do. So this fire happened in 2018. So you can go through and change that to get older articles, more of the primary source material, if you will. See, so then, but I only want 2018. I want to take a look at what happened right after the fire. So we're talking about November 8th was the day of the fire. And here it is, deadliest wildfire in state history. So it's also video results. If you just want the facts, ma'am, then if you click on the Newswire, that's kind of like Reuters and oh gosh, what's the other one called? Yeah, all these like these things. Associated Press. Oh, that was hard to remember. They're under Newswire, but you saw earlier, you can get video. Just go back. So I spent a lot of time on this database looking at different articles, videos, and this you can spend hours on here. See, they did like a whole thing. And this is again where you can like kind of like diverge into like, so you could do climate change, you could do emergency management response, you could do human interest stories, real inside information about the victims of the fire. So that's what you would use this for. And then I'm just going to go back to our website fast because I just want to do a quick. So one of the other things about me going down the rabbit hole is that when I get a topic, I want to know everything about the facts of it, but then I also want to just like read stories about it. So if you want to find stories involving wildfires, so I'm just going to put in wildfire, pretty broad, but if I want a book, just like online shopping, just filter down inside and say I want a new book, right? So I'm going to do from 2019 to 2020. Let's see. And so here we go. Here's a fiction book that involves wildfires. And you know how you know that? Because if you go into the record, you have the subject headings right here. So also about canoes and canoeing, in case you were wondering. So you could keep going just like that. One other fast thing I'll show you, if you do need more facts and reports, and say you don't live in Westwood and you're not a resident of town and therefore don't have access to Newsbank, you can still use our library catalog to get articles and reviews right here. And so they have a research started here about wildfires too. So lots of good things too, just not international, but for a topic like this, you don't really need that. So there's a lot to look into here. So what will be next week's topic? I don't know. If you have a good idea, send it my way. You can email me at, well, you'll see it down below, but my email is riportella at minlib.net. And I look forward to seeing you next week when we go down the rabbit hole again. Have a good one.